Hi, Islamic Dad here. If you enjoy this channel, please subscribe. It does help me out. Today I am doing a video on the kind of the psychological behavior or motivation behind some strange behaviors that narcissists do and kind of their experience. So in researching narcissistic relationships, one of the more valuable resources that I managed to come across was about a half dozen self-aware narcissists who talk about narcissism from the point of view of a narcissist and kind of like explain, like, when I do this, this is why, this is, my motivation, and this is what I'm thinking, and this is what I'm feeling. And one of the things I noticed that a lot of them will do as they go through their videos explaining why they do things and what they're thinking is that they'll say something along the lines of, I don't want to do this, but I can't stop myself, or it's I know it's not good, but I do it anyways, or something along the lines where it's this weird contradiction, if you will, where the narcissist on one level is aware that some of their actions are wrong, hurtful, malicious, maybe even self-sabotaging. And that on that level, the narcissist does not want to do those things, but that the narcissist is just compelled to do them anyways. And honestly, the way it's described is they do those things anyways in spite of their own wishes or in spite of their own, choice, so to speak. And, hearing this and the way they describe it, it does remind me of when people have talked about addiction, and where they'll say, okay, I didn't want to drink. I knew that when I drank, I couldn't stop. I knew that when I drank, I made bad decisions. I knew that when I drank, I put myself and others around me in danger. I know that when I drink, it's really detrimental to my health, but I did it anyways. Where it's, that internal conflict where on, some level, the narcissist does know what they're doing to you and knows what they're doing to the relationship, knows, honestly, what they might be doing to themselves. And yet they feel powerless to stop themselves. And they just get swept away. I mean, the compulsion, just wins over. And whether they like to do something or not, they end up doing it. And I just thought that was an interesting thing that I wanted to point out with the video, is that because I know that some people, like, a question that comes up a lot is, do narcissists know what they're doing? And again, depending on who you ask, you're going to get a different answer. And ironically, even if you ask self-aware narcissist this question, you're going to get different answers. But the one that kind of I think they all, to one extent or another, can kind of agree on is that for the most part, you have a situation with a narcissist where on one level, they do know the consequences of their actions. They do know what they're doing to you, to the relationship, and to themselves, and yet they can't stop. They just move forward with whatever they're doing anyways. And from from what they've described as far as like why they do that, and and I've heard this described more from like even the psychologists, describing narcissism and like kind of the internal state, is that no, it might be something where it's a very childlike, toddler emotional level that's operating. And so when you say, okay, you've already had 8 cookies, don't eat any more cookies, because if you eat another cookie, you're going to get sick again, like you did last time, and you're going to be up all night with a tummy ache and throwing up. And the child says, okay. And then as soon as the parent's out of the room, they go and they grab that, cookie number 9, and they munch away. And the thing is, they know that what happened last time. They know that the last time they did this, they were up all night throwing up, with a tummy ache. And yet, they're like, well, cookie tastes good. I mean, they just do it anyways. And, listening to these adult narcissists describe this like, kind of this like internal conflict between when they're doing things and they don't want to, or they know it's not right. It almost sounds the same way, that again, that the, whatever part of the mind that is within the narcissist is very much stuck at the level of a toddler, like in a very, emotional driven 4-year-old. And so even though they know that cookie's going to give them a tummy ache and it's going to make them throw up all night, before they know that, the arm's already reached out and the cookie's in their mouth. So anyways, hopefully this video has been helpful.